Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sounds a little low, but how's the volume? I don't know if I need to up the gain a little bit. Get it a little closer to us. Hello, everybody. Little phone notification. Hello, everyone. How's it going out there? How's the volume? We're gonna do a little volume check. Let us know. Let's let the room populate here for a moment. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. My name is Bezad.
I'm Risa.
And we are from Naked Famous Denim, the most live streamed raw denim brand in all of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I'm going to take that. I'm going to make that claim. So welcome to the most live stream of raw denim topics in the entire universe. You are part of it. You're having a great time, I presume. Anyways, I'm not even kidding. I was gonna say jokes aside, but that was all actually serious. I can barely hear it. Okay, I'm gonna up my gain a little bit. How do we sound now? Are we a little bit better? Volume low. Volume's a little low. Okay, we're gonna hopefully that fixed the problem. I'm gonna move my mic a little bit out the way. Are we doing okay, guys? How does that sound? Hopefully a little bit better. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat. Sounds good in the chat. Let me know that we're doing just fine. So, welcome to the live stream, everybody. For those joining right now, my name is Bezad. This is Risa. We are streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. Here to answer all your raw denim, Naked and Famous Denim related questions. Have fun chat, hang out, go off topic for sure. We're going to do a lot of that. And hopefully have a lot of fun with all you guys. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. We've got David T checking in from Iowa. Decibels, hello from the DC area. Right W5, hello from Birmingham, UK. Brian H, hello from Florida. Brainster says the volume is a little low. Is it still a little low? I'm going to go up a little bit more. I'm going to get up the gain just another bit. Hopefully we're going to be better. Hello. I'm Indiana in the Heezy. Pretty how coming in live from my dinner.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks for inviting us to dinner with you. I appreciate that. Pete McLeod volume is still low. I'm gonna go up a little more, just a little bit more. Hey. That's got to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. V. Hoping to say hello in my MIJ9s. Hope all is well. All is well. And great choice with the MIJ9s.
Mm-hmm.
MIJ9s. The natural indigo.
Mm-hmm.
Great gene. Great choice. Sacco Janison. Hello from Watertown, MA. Is that Massachusetts? Massachusetts. That's a hard word to say. Thanks for joining us. Brain H. Okay. Sounds better. Okay. Looks like we're good to go. No more technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
There might be more technical difficulties. Who's to say? This live stream is always very exciting in that way. This is not a pro live streamer setup, as you can tell. But I think that's our scrappy nature here.
It's the charm.
Yeah, it's the charm of the live stream. We just try to do the best with what we got. But I think content outweighs quality in this respect. Although maybe one day we'll have a live streaming studio with raw denim all around us, and yeah, that'd be cool. And snacks everywhere. Just people giving us snacks.
That'd be nice.
That'd be very nice.
Wall of snacks.
Wall of snacks. All right. Pierre Moreau asked the important question first, and I'm going to address this one. Is Tate and Yoko having a sale this weekend? So, Tate and Yoko usually has a Labor Day sale over the Labor Day weekend. And if you guys have been on the the Tate and Yoko website recently, you noticed that there was a little pop-up talking about slow shipments. We basically had some computer issues.
Massive technical difficulties.
Massive one. So our database, basically, it was lost for a minute. but we were able to recover it, but it's not up to date. So there's been some inventory sync issues and things like that. And if we ran a sale, we were gonna run into a lot of problems. So, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do. I wanted to do a release on Friday. I want to do the sale this weekend. I wanted to release those custom leather patches this past Friday as well, but we couldn't do it. So I will make it up to you guys. Next week is looking like we're gonna be able to do. We're gonna get the blue smoke out next Friday. We're gonna have the custom leather patches coming out next week as well, so you're gonna be able to customize your jeans. And then we'll have some kind of promotion at some point in September. And then we have the Thanksgiving thank you sale, which I talked about a little bit before. In October. So Canadian Thanksgiving, we're going to do like a buy X, get Y back as a gift card, like a thank you gift card type of thing. So it'll, the more you spend, the more gift card money you'll get back. So if there's something coming out later on in the season, you want to do some Christmas shopping, that kind of thing, you're going to have a little bit of extra, dough in your pocket. So,
and the key is that it is a gift card. It's not a discount code. So you can apply it to basically anything you want.
Yeah. So it's not just select items. It's any item that you want. So that's coming out soon. Well, that'll be in October, Thanksgiving weekend. Let me just double check what Canadian Thanksgiving weekend is. Thanksgiving 2022, Monday, October 10th. So the weekend of Monday, October 10th. So we're looking at the sale will probably start on either the Wednesday, the 5th. Sometimes I like to run them early, or it will for sure start on the 7th. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and then prices will go back to regular. And the promotion will end. Promotion last day of the promotion will be on the 10th. So the 11th will be a normal day again. So watch out for that. We'll have some announcements. I also will have more of a release schedule listed out on Monday or Tuesday. So that'll come out on the email blast on Tati and Yoko or Naked and Famous Denim. So either sign up for both or one, and you'll see what's coming out this month. But we will release the Blue Smoke Stretch Selvedge on this upcoming Friday, which is the 9th. So watch out for that one. All right. BD, any hint at September releases? Well, we'll
Blue Smoke.
Blue Smoke.
It's definitely going to be released.
Yeah, Blue Smoke will definitely be released. We have Blue Comfort? You can say it loud. Yeah, Blue Comfort is coming. It's just I don't have them all set up by like what's coming out on which week. Yeah. So Blue Comfort, and then
the next few releases are Blue Comfort,
Scratch and Sniff. And I think the Selvedge, which was a style that we talked about on the live stream. It wasn't part of that fall winter 2022 video that we made. So there's actually quite a few products this season that we made in addition to what was in that video. There's also some chore coats that were not mentioned in that video. These were like later additions. We made the collection. We're like, oh, you know what? We can add a few things. So we did. So there will be a couple of items that are coming up. They're not even on the website yet because they haven't been photographed. But that is.
We haven't seen like anything else really.
Yeah, I haven't seen them yet.
We've seen fabric swatches.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the sample jeans yet. So that's coming. Here's a question. Sacco Janison. Speaking of natural indigo, any pairs, or is it even possible to make a dark denim jeans? Completely unrelated. Bezat, if you don't mind asking, do you speak Farsi? My ethnic background is Armenian. Bale, Farsi harf mizanam. So there's your answer. I can speak Farsi. And
is it possible to make a dark denim?
Yeah, like a really dark. Yeah, I mean there's dark indigo comes in many different shades. You can get pretty dark like with a natural indigo, like if you look at our natural indigo Selvedge jeans, those are pretty dark, but they're not as quite as like super deep. You know, sometimes there's like the blue smoke is a dark indigo with a bit of black, so it looks black, and then there's some of those indigos that are like so blue that they're just like they're super navy. You know, sometimes you get a navy t-shirt and it looks black until you put it next to black and like, oh, that's clearly blue. But like a natural indigo is a couple shades lighter than that when you can get it pretty dark. But
you can get it really dark with natural indigo, but I mean, I don't know what you mean by like really dark, because I mean,
I think they're talking like left-hand twill dark.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like I find it not like natural indigo like to be like a slightly different shades of indigo than like synthetic indigo, if you know what I mean. Like it just.
Well, I know what you mean, but I think that it just doesn't quite get as dark. It's a different shade. You can get it pretty shade. Dark.
Yeah. It's less black. Like it's more
blue. We got to get the natural indigo.
Dark natural indigo. Yeah. Whenever we talk about like, oh, this is natural indigo shade or whatever, like that kind of color, like we talk about our natural indigo Selvedge, and that happens to be like a lighter denim, like lighter colored
in general denim. But I think it's a pretty like, dark natural indigo jean. You disagree?
I disagree.
All right.
Completely.
We disagree.
Yeah.
That's okay. Serious envy of that Type 1 jacket Risa posted. Yeah, Risa, we own a lot of things.
We own a lot of denim jackets.
Yeah, we own a lot of denim jackets.
Especially like the vintage ones because
they fade and they look nice. But
and it's a lot easier to find like a vintage one that fits you than like pants. I mean, there's way more sizes in pants.
Yeah, that's true.
You
know, I talked about it on my personal Instagram because I'm starting to wear the MIJ 10 sample because I really need to have my own faded, super faded denim jacket. I own a lot of denim jackets. The problem with denim jackets is, unlike jeans, you don't often wear them every single day. And for me, I've been very committed to wearing denim bottoms. When it comes to tops, I change my jackets a lot. And so I've never, even in all my years of raw denim, have worn a denim jacket so much that I got to the point of being as faded as like my best faded jeans. So
it's hard because you did live in Canada your entire life, basically, and Eastern Canada, which is like, it's like there's only like 2 months where you can wear like denim jackets that are just outside.
No, I mean, you could wear a denim jacket on its own for a while. Well, it depends. Like when I was a kid, I mean, even into my 20s, like I really didn't wear a lot of heavy winter jackets. I would just layer up. So
I mean, you could always wear denim jackets underneath the jacket, like a winter jacket, but you can't just walk around like that in January.
Yeah, if you're Canadian, you can. If you're Canadian, you can.
Crazy.
Yeah, I for a long time, it was like, you know, I would have like an army jacket or whatever, but like, I didn't get a real down jacket until I was like 24, 25. I just struggled. I put on like a t-shirt and a sweater and a hoodie and put on whatever like army jacket I had or whatever kind of jacket I was wearing, and that was it. I took the bus a lot and rode the you know, I waited outside a lot. I rode the bus to work, and you know, if you're in the suburbs in the bus, you miss the bus, it's like 20 or 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes you're waiting outside for that next bus. And I would just, you know, I would just suck it up. And then I remember I got my first real down jacket, and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Right? You know, what on earth was I doing? And I never looked back since. But
Admittedly, I do see like a lot of like girls in the middle of winter have like short skirt without any like
Shout out to Canadian girls on a
yeah,
Friday night.
that's impressive. Bare legs.
Friday night in Montreal on like Saint Laurent, it is short skirts, high heels, no jacket, minus 25, no F's given.
But not just like when you're going out to the club and you come out, for a second or whatever. Like it's not even just Friday night. Like I've seen them like in local bus stations, like just randomly. They're not like all dressed up. They're just like wear short skirts.
That's Canada, man. But like you also, I remember when you were moving to Canada, and I was telling you, I'm like, on like the coldest day when the snow is like up to your knees, there will be a guy in shorts. Mm-hmm. There will just be a guy in shorts, and you always see that guy. He's always there. It's not one guy. It's just there's a type of guy, looks kind of like a hockey player, and he's just wearing shorts. It's the way it is. Once you get used to the cold, or like you're like, minus 10, no problem. That's nothing. Today it's an easy one today. But I actually talked about it in the Blue Smoke video, which is going to drop on Monday, about the benefits of that Blue Smoke denim being 11 ounces, right? And as we get into the fall, you have those temperatures drop, and if you're from like the Northeast or where there's a lot of snow, you go from heat blasting to no heat to heat blasting. So you're getting on like, you're getting out of your apartment, you're going to the bus stop, the metro, wherever. It takes a few minutes to get there. Then when you're in the metro, the heat is blasting. You get out, you go to your office, you go to school. Heat's blasting again. So the amount of time you're outside is very limited. So when you layer up or you're wearing really, really heavy garments, you're like, you're all bundled up, and then you got to open up, you're going to take your layers off. It just becomes annoying. So a lot of the times you're like, well, whatever, I'll deal with the cold for a few minutes, and I'm just going to be comfortable. I'm going to dress for the warm environment that I'm going to be in all day. So, I think that's also part of just Canadian mentality for dealing with the winter, where it's like, well, unless I'm going tobogganing or skating outside, like I'm
just going to power through it.
Just going to power through it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. Yeah. And one thing I was impressed about Canadian winter jackets is that like when I first got my first real winter jacket from Canada Goose, they had that like strap inside, so like you can take it off and you just wear it like a backpack. Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was so weird, but it's like it totally makes sense.
Totally makes sense. So good for them for figuring out the backpack strap detail. And yeah, Shane Delahunty. I wear a Swedish merino base layer and mid layer between the autumn and spring, and sometimes a rain jacket over those. Yeah, right. There's a lot of different ways to get prepared for this cold season, and like layering is a good idea. But yeah, I there's definitely overkill with some. You can like if you're afraid of the cold, then you can go. It could seem like overkill. Interestingly, I've been in Hong Kong where it's generally pretty hot, and I find that their winters are, they're
mild.
They're a joke.
But they wear
down jackets in like 10 degrees.
Yes. Well, 10 degrees is pretty cold. I wear it in down jacket.
Okay.
But the one thing weird about Hong Kongese people in winter is that they wear a down jacket. Because I feel like it's because like they want to wear it, they just don't have the opportunity to wear it, so they will just wear it on a regular day.
Right.
But they also wear flip flops with the down jacket, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. That is funny.
That is very like.
But yeah, I feel like there's like they own that winter item, and they just don't get the opportunity to wear it. So when it's just a little bit cold or cold enough, they're like, okay, time to wear it. I remember one time I came from Canada to Japan in November.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, recently I remember this and it was like in November it was already freezing temperature, snow, and me and Brennan, we flew in. we got off the plane, and we went directly to our hotel, dropped our bags, and then we went to go do a product knowledge seminar at a store, and then we had dinner with you guys. And I was wearing a tank top, and I was like,
it was I would say it was like 15 degrees.
Yeah, and I was
maybe.
loving it.
13,
I was
15.
so happy.
Like I was wearing a leather jacket or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a winter jacket, but it was like, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, it's cold.
Yeah,
And then I was like, why are you wearing a tank top?
I'm like, because it's like -10 at home already. Like it was freezing. We were coming from Snowland, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm in positive temperatures right now. I was just ecstatic. So, yeah, that's Canadian mentality for the winter for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 75 sounds like England. That's it. Cathedral Ring. Bezad special thong guy in December. Thong guy. Not for December.
It's I mean, anytime you want it to be.
That's
really.
true. It is really an anytime kind of thing. It's just an alteration. You know, if you go back a few videos on the Tate and Yoko Instagram, you can check out the Bezad special, what we called it.
You don't have to wear it on its own either.
You can layer that one up.
Yeah,
that's a layering piece. Yeah, Richard Meza just asked for the special. We got you covered. Anytime you want it, any time of year, any day, Bezad special is on the menu. Shane Dallahunty, I was thinking of buying a leather peacoat someday for winter instead of my other idea of a down jacket. A leather peacoat. A wool peacoat. I never see.
Yeah, I never seen a leather peacoat.
It sounds like something a cop would wear in the 80s. Like you know,
that's a cool, cool detective.
Like a brown, like a cool detective look.
Yeah.
Seems like yeah. I would opt, if you're gonna go peacoat, wool peacoat's the way to go. Just because I think it looks dressier. Leather peacoat, I don't know. I don't own one.
It, but like I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it
might limit what you can wear it with. I feel like
you will be that guy who wears leather peacoat,
right?
But I mean, if that's your style, I think it might look cool.
All right. Or a down jacket. Down jacket is also pretty versatile.
Jacket is very reliable.
Yeah, very reliable. Yeah. I have several down jackets, and I'm a big fan. Although I don't get to wear them as much in this side of the planet. Not that it doesn't get cold here. It's just we don't leave a lot in the wintertime. You know, in Canada, we were going to the office every day, so you had to prepare somewhat for going outside. But you know, we work from home now, so it's not a lot. As we own a lot of jackets, and I'm gonna have to find a way and just wear the denim jacket at home. The MIJ 10 jacket, I'm gonna wear that at home a lot. Just because I need to have my own faded denim jacket.
That's true. Yeah. I think it's a good project.
I want it to be super faded because the ones that we own that are faded, they're all vintage jackets, right? And they're all beautiful. But I need to have the one that I made. Yeah, I didn't. The work that I did for it was working, and then I gave them my money. Here you go, the vintage store. What are the chances of banner jackets coming back? How much did those cost? What are the chances? Yeesh.
I think there are high chances of us ever making it. Yes. Yeah. But anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's not gonna happen this year. Just from now till the end of the year, we're pretty.
So for those people wondering, literally right before the pandemic, we were planning on releasing some custom denim jackets made out of the Naked and Famous Denim, Selvedge denim banners. And then the pandemic hit, and our factory got shut down. Everything got shut down. So that took a while for us to get back up and running. And then when we were up and running again, we were catching up from regular production, because there was all kinds of regular production that needed to be done that wasn't being done. And, you know, these small projects got put on the, back burner. And I have to say that there's a lot of projects still that have been put on the back burner since the start of the pandemic time.
40 ounce.
Yeah,
for
40 ounce is
example.
one of them.
Yeah.
You know, True Guy. That's I like. There've been a few samples here and there, but like I'm still waiting to like finalize all that stuff. So for us, main season production is the priority always, and because there's slowdowns with global shipping, supply chain stuff, we have to act quickly. So even if there's like a week where it's like, oh, that's open for maybe a side project, if a particular fabric is late and it shows up, you know, at another time, we have to, you know, even though that, you know, production space might have been reserved for like side project, it's like, no, forget it, move it out of the way. That item is already late, slide it into that production. So the production schedule keeps getting shifted around and moved constantly. So we haven't, since the start of the pandemic, we haven't been in a point where things have been smooth, right? Everything is, stuff shows up kind of when it wants. You know, 1 month deliveries are turning into 3 month deliveries. And even then, nobody's guaranteeing you a delivery date. So it's just constantly seat of our pants, just get it made. So there's a lot of stuff here and there that are like I want to do, but it just takes a lot longer to get it done, or it's just not a priority. So making those jackets, you know, I don't want to take a pre-order. I don't want to take people's money and then say, okay, guarantee you a date of like, okay, it's going to take a couple months to get this made, just, you know, wherever I have the production space, and then have that production space booted for something else. So I want us to be at the point where, okay, where we were pre-pandemic, where things were flowing in nicely. You know, we had slow season. I don't have a slow season anymore, right? We used to have like slower production seasons where we could do stuff, but now it's just like every minute of every day is packed with, you know, production space and then stuff shifting around. So it's a little difficult at this time still. Okay. Shane Delhunt at Richard Meza. I've seen NYC cops wearing a leather peacoat. I thought it was a good look. All right. Yeah, you're gonna look like a cop.
Yeah,
You're gonna look like
cool.
law enforcement. Massey, Risa, where is your black belt in your pictures from?
Oh, it's actually from Aritzia.
Oh.
Yeah. And I bought it a long time ago. I don't think they sell it anymore because I actually looked, because mine is like starting to wear off. And it's like whenever I like something a lot, like I want to buy a second one.
Yeah.
So I was looking, and I don't think they carry that anymore. But I do like all my belts are like Western style belts. I really like.
Yeah, they look really cool. But yeah, I guess that's the other thing. Like when you find something that you really like, it does become important to get another one.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's one like, I mean, that comes from my sneaker collecting mentality, or even my comic book mentality from back in the day. It was one to rock, one to stock. Especially for comic books. There were the comic books that I opened and I read, and then there were the comic books that they came prepackaged like that. I'm like, that's not ever gonna get opened.
Yeah, but with the belt and stuff that I buy the second job, I'm intending to use it when the first one is starting to go. Like it's not like for me to collect. It's just like something I need to have the second one waiting when it starts to deteriorate. And I was like, I'm you know, I freak out.
Yeah,
I don't want to lose my favorite thing.
Belt. Yeah. One to rock, one to stock. It's not for everybody, you know. But if you find something you really like,
especially like in my, you know, it's obviously when you're younger, you're, you know, money's limited, so you can't like buy the same thing twice because that's just ridiculous. But like as you grow older, like you're like, when you love something, it's like I might never encounter anything that I love as much. Not that like the belt was like, you know, that level, but
you know, but I used to think that way. I used to think that was silly. In a pair, like when I worked at Holt Renfrew, it was a luxury department store in Canada. You know, we would have all kinds of people, but it was all often either older gentlemen or older ladies who were buying for their husbands. There, you know what? I wonder how much that happens anymore. But when when I was working there was a lot of women who exclusively shop for their husbands that I never met their husbands ever. Like they were just that was just part of their routine. My husband needs some new shirts. Okay, he likes this shirt. I will buy 5 of them. He likes these socks specifically. Socks are different. I think we all own a bunch of the same socks. Once you find your socks you like, you kind of stick to them. But yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah, I think I mean, in this country, I think it's still like a thing because husbands are busy working.
Husbands are at work. Ladies are doing the lady work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're women. Well, obviously, you're a woman. Yes, and you fall into that idea of buy more than one sometimes, like when you really like something. But I wonder if that's. I'm just trying to remember when I work because I did work in ladies wear, but my mind maybe I'm not remembering it, but my mind just remembers the fact that there was a lot of guys who did that.
I think guys are more like, if you like it, I'm gonna stick with it. Girls are more like, I want something new. I don't want to like be wearing the same thing all the time mentality in general. But like, I'm only talking about like belts. If I wear the same belt every day, nobody's gonna judge me.
Yeah.
Or like like basic white sneakers that I really like, especially shoes, because like comfort is important. So if you find one like basic items, you can stock up.
Right. Yeah. Let me know. Do you guys are you guys anybody out there? What's your stance? What's your situation on that? One to rock, one to stock. Heidi and Selvedge. My mom always shops for my dad. Yeah, there was a generation, maybe even this current generation, but there was certainly an older generation of men whose wives did all the shopping for them. I remember, and this still happens every now and then, like maybe less so at Tate and Yoko, but I've seen it happen. Where a couple is shopping, and like the guys in the change room, the lady is picking everything, gives it to the guy, to try this, try that. The guy comes out of the change room, and like I would almost never address the man in this situation.
What do you think?
And I look at the lady, and he's looking at the lady. We're both looking at her, and we're like, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I like it." And he's like,
"Okay.
Yeah, good. It. Like I'm not. I've got no say in this matter."
I mean, I feel like there's way more men that does not care. Not that they don't care, but like does not have like strong preference and anything what looks good or what doesn't look good.
They leave it to their wives, their ladies or whoever because they're maybe the more stylish one in the relationship, or
they care more about appearances.
Yeah, but it would happen a lot because the guys certainly felt like I don't want to be here. Like they're like, oh, she wanted me to have new clothes, so I'm here doing that so I can avoid.
I'm happy with my old clothes, but I gotta,
you gotta do that. Yeah. So, the Raven, the retail store I worked at, I would get a lot of wives who would buy clothes for their husbands, only because their husbands would refuse to buy their own clothes. Yeah, I guess that's part of it. Generally speaking, men are less interested in apparel or dressing than their partners are.
Yeah, I mean, in this relationship, it's obviously not the case. Yeah. But I do have to say, this might be a little TMI, but I encourage you to buy socks and underwear like more often. Like I sometimes just buy the new ones for you because you just keep wearing them until it's like
till destruction. Till destruction. I wear everything until destruction. Yeah, I'm very, when it comes to clothes, I don't baby them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. I'm going to get into a story. Definitely, this person's definitely not watching. I'm just going to say that this happened a while ago. And it was a weird situation we were in where we were at a restaurant and somebody had some liquor spilled on their shoes.
Oh.
And they freaked out. Like completely. Well, I wouldn't say completely freaked out, but like they just wouldn't let up about this happening, and they're like, "Oh, my shoes are wet now. Now they're gonna smell." and they were very expensive and such. And I'm like, yeah, those are all true things. But also, it was pouring rain when we got in, so you're worried that there's some liquid on your shoes, even though you just walked in from a pouring rain situation. And I'm thinking to myself, are you just trying to give the waiter a hard time? Like, the waiter, they were very apologetic. They offered a discount, all that stuff, but they were just going on about it. And I'm just like, dude, I know they're expensive shoes, but they're shoes. And if you're so worried about your expensive shoes getting something happening to them,
Should have never
you
left
should
your
not.
home.
You should have left them in the box. Don't ever wear those shoes. Go and get something from Walmart, something that you're comfortable with, having life happen to them. It's not like, anyways, I was just like, I was, because we were also industry people, and I'm like, everybody at this dinner is wearing expensive shoes. Everyone here's shoes are not, a throwaway type of price. But like, are like, it just felt bizarre. I'm like, yeah, these are like, if I'm wearing boots or something, like, yeah, they got scuffed. Like,
But I think it was also like the situation where like it was a restaurant and they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," like
yeah,
couldn't believe we did this kind of
yeah,
reaction from them.
yeah.
I think, which gave him like a opportunity to feel like, oh, this is a big deal, because if you walk into any kind of crowded bar on Saturday night or whatever with your fancy shoes, like, you're gonna have some beers or
Right.
whatever on your shoes, like, but you don't care about that. You
Yeah,
only care
that's true.
because they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry,"
Yeah.
like,
Right. If we were at a bar and somebody spilled their drink, were you get in a fight with the guy? Oh, you
Right.
spilled some beer on my shoes. It's like, oh yeah, it happened. You were at a bar. You're like, you don't expect the waitress or the waiter or somebody working at the restaurant to spill something on you, but it's just it's life, right?
Yeah.
That's just part of life. And if they're apologetic and they're trying to make up for it, and then like, but what do you expect them to do? Like, I'm gonna rebuy these shoes for you completely? I'm like, come on, man. Like, you can't expect that. If you were to walk in dog doo-doo outside, like, what, you're gonna hunt the owner down and be like, look, got doo-doo on my shoes. Like, I don't know. It feels weird to, like, if you have something nice, like, I get you wanting to treat it nicely, but like being so overprotective about it, it, sometimes even in raw denim, like, we'll get someone who messages us and they're like, the jeans ripped, and they're like, I've only had them for, and like the situations sometimes are like, I'm like, did you read your story that you emailed me? It's like, I've been wearing them for 9 months. I've been following all the instructions on the website. It says not to wear. It says wear them every day and not to wash them. And I'm like, we don't tell you to not wash them or any of that stuff. There's recommendations and things like how you can achieve faith, but like, you're doing exactly the raw denim like kind of path to like wearing your jeans to get the fades, and then you get a pocket hole like where your phone is, or the knee starts to wear out a little bit, or the crotch is starting to blow out just a touch, and they're furious. Like, and I understand, right? But at the same time, I'm like, I need to talk you down with what the situation is, and I hope that you're gonna understand. And it's like, you've been wearing these jeans every day, every single day, for months on end. You never wash them. They smell, like, you can smell them. They smell, right? And you're wondering why holes are forming, or like, I've had instances where somebody will message me, send me an email, and it's the same damage on the same, like, it's a person who likes the same jean, they always buy the same jean. And like, I've been wearing these, I've just noticed that they always wear out in the same spot. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So you're telling me that in the exact same spot where you wear all your jeans, you're getting holes right where the edges of your cell phone are, or like your wallet. It's like wallet fades and like stuff like that. Or like if you're cycling, like one leg wears out a little bit more than the other, and And I'm like, you think that somehow we engineered these jeans to specifically wear out in that area always? Like, it's just a weird notion. Instead of thinking, I always put my phone in that pocket, and I always have the same kind of phone, and it always wears out in the same spot. Maybe it's me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to like insult anybody or things like that, but I find it odd, like the connection between like this is valuable and therefore could never be destroyed or anything bad happening to it. And I'm like, no, it's the same as anything else in life. I mean, you bought it because you want to wear it, you want to enjoy it. This is a nice shirt. It's made with a beautiful fabric, beautiful construction. But it's something's gonna happen to this. Something's gonna spill on it. Pizza stains, especially, are gonna happen to this shirt. And like, am I gonna blame the pizza restaurant that the oil from the pizza dripped on my shirt and it's hard to get pizza oil out of stuff? That's a Bezat thing. Like, when you go into the world with your nice things, you have to expect that there's gonna be wear and tear on it, and it's not.
Especially if you get 9 months like out of that pair, and you are wearing them hard. Like, that's a good. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that all jeans would fall apart after a few months. I'm just saying that, like, it's just like that's kind of, like if I wear the same shoes like for every day for 9 months and my soul starts to like go. I mean, I don't think it's because of the quality standard of the shoe soles. It's because I've been wearing them hard.
Yeah. And like, I've worn enough shoes and boots where I know I wear soles out fast, really fast. And
it's always the same way.
It's always the same way. I just drag my feet. It's just that's the way it is. I drag my feet, and so the soles just get worn out. And if I'm an idiot, which I've been, I don't get the soles fixed, and then you start wrecking the shoe, and then like you get into real problems. Fix your soles. Fix your problems when you get them.
Fix your jeans before the hole gets too big.
Right. So these are all part of it, and like, I guess long story short is
what is this?
It started with like you don't have to baby your stuff. Like, I find it a little odd, and like if you're gonna get like heated over it, maybe that's not the product for you. Like, maybe you should stick to products.
Wanna, like, put it in your shelf and look at it.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you like it.
Right. If you like it brand new and fresh and like, pristine, then put it in a case or admire it from the store window, right? Go get something that you're comfortable with. Oh, this is this price point, so it deserves to get worn in, right? I know taking care of your stuff is one thing. Obviously you've got to maintain. If you like your stuff clean it, right? But you can't expect life to not happen to your stuff and get too upset over it.
Yeah. Well, you can be upset, but it's like you can't expect other people to like, say somebody spills something on you and like clearly it's not intentional. It can't just be like, well, I'm upset. You should be upset. Like,
Yeah.
It's a weird expectation.
Right. It is. Anyways, you guys let me know. Was I off on that one? But yeah. Anyways, I think maybe it was because I was so annoyed that like this was taking forever. I'm like, guys, just sneakers. Okay, like let's move on. Okay.
I got a rant out of it.
Yeah, I got a little mini rant out of it. Christopher Davis writes, good question. Is it possible to do a colored Neps slub? Colored slub on its own, unless it's a colored denim, but colored Neps, absolutely. We actually have some stuff that I've not released yet.
Oh.
Yeah. There's some samples made that Brandon's like, when are you gonna release it? When are you gonna release it? And I'm like, hold on.
Oh yeah.
So there actually is something in my back pocket.
But we also like have done like denim with like indigo denim with colored nabs. I think we made some we definitely made some pants and some hats out of it. That was not. That was maybe like a few years ago.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah. So it is possible we're gonna have some stuff eventually, sooner than later. Sorry about the color. There's a little bit of a color thing going on here. Okay, I might be the only one who cares. Tidy and Selvedge. Ooh, secret samples. Sometimes there's secret samples.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like sometimes we make stuff and there's just
not enough, like not the right time to release it.
Right.
And then it's just never gonna.
And then if you miss the time, you're like, oh, we can wait. You know, the beauty of denim is, by and large, well, you know, we're not selling quote unquote fashion, right? Like we don't really follow the trends, and sometimes like, you know, we're with like, you know, we're fashion industry people and they're just talking about new brands and new trends. I'm like, I don't know any of it. Like I used to really follow this stuff. And I'm like, I don't care about that at all anymore. I'm so like, it is so just not interesting to me. And I'm like, I've just fully embraced like, you know, classical, you know, men's workwear. Like it's just, you know, there's a bit of modernity, but like this shirt is gonna be fine for the next 100 years, right? Like, and I don't think that this shirt is gonna look like 100-year-old shirt in 100 years from now, right? Like a sport collar shirt, just it works throughout all time. Like there's certain aesthetic things that we make that are very timeless and very classic, and like we're not trying to create like.
We don't care about what the color of the year
is. There's just no
like,
interest in any of that stuff. And oh, everything's baggy and wide silhouettes now. And I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, it's important to know like what, like, especially like jeans rise and like the skinny level, like what most people are comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's good to know because that's going to be popular.
Yeah.
And
but I find that we get that from just general observance of like people in the world and sales. Like when the sales for a certain fit start going up versus and the other kind of fits going down, like clearly people are looking for this type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not in like the world of like, oh, if you don't do this now, you're gonna miss out kind of situation.
Trend forecasting
it's just like
and
everything with jeans fits and stuff, like everything moves so slowly
Yeah.
that like if you like see, oh, these are going up, like by the time we like realize it and make it and release it, it might take a year, but it doesn't matter because it's still moving.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, like the industry of selling the future to the industry is a humongous industry.
Yeah.
You know, at the trade shows, you know, we were talking to somebody the other day and they were like, you know, I remember back at the shows when my boss, there was another denim brand, not my boss, but the person I was talking to was their boss. They wouldn't allow anyone in the booth that wasn't a buyer. Like if you were a blogger, remember when bloggers were a thing? You know, now they don't call them bloggers anymore. Now everyone's a journalist, and I'm like, you know what I mean? The term, remember, because now everyone's writing for some big blog, right? Now, but like, they used to just be bloggers. Now there's, if you watch that episode of The Office when they're releasing the Saber Pyramid, bloggers. And it was like, to be honest with you, that's kind of what it was like, because you come to the trade show and in like, you know, early 2010s, and it was just a bunch of like hipstery looking kids at the show, and they've got their cameras out, they're writing stuff down, and like it, you know, I had no problem with them. I was always like, yeah, you want to take pictures, you want to learn, come on in. But in that mix of people, you would get the trend forecasters. And the trend forecasters, they'd be like, usually they were a little bit older. They certainly weren't as friendly. I think they were just jaded by being told no all day. And like, they're like, hi, I'm such and such from blah, 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 blah. And like, a lot of brands would just be like, no. Like before they would even finish that sentence,
Yeah.
they'd be like, no. And they're like, okay. And like then they go to the next booth. Hi, I'm such because I don't know they're tired or whatever. But I'm like, I don't care. You want to look? You write about me. You write about me. But what they're definitely doing is going back and saying, here's what we saw at the show. Here are the trends. We saw this, that, and the other thing. Here's what you should be doing because our show that we were showing at were a lot of the indie brands, like the quote unquote, like up and coming kind of cool brands. And so they wanted to rip off a lot of ideas from here. And it's a very easy way to rip things off. You just go and take a bunch of pictures and here's the report. And then they go and sell that to like the big companies and say, we want $50,000 for this. And now you have all the information of what's cool, what's coming up next season. Mm-hmm. But like, you know what? There's less and less of that now. Way less. I find that in those days, the bloggers were very much on the ground. They were trying to learn new stories. I think by today's standards, and it's very clear in the kind of products that they cover on these websites now, that it's all press releases getting sent to these people, and then it's just regurgitated. Mm-hmm. There's so literally in those days, every day you'd meet a new blogger, the new website. Everyone was, a lot of these people were like one-man shows. Yeah. Here's my blog, you know, and it was really cool at that time, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, oh, do you know about this blog? You know about that blog? Because they were doing it. They were in the scene. And
then like it was a new thing, so like a lot of room for newcomers to make mm-hmm. something out of, you know, from nothing. Whereas like, because like magazines are like, you know, they became too big. Yeah. They became all bundled together. Now that like it's so boring. It's everything is about ads.
It was all corporate. Magazines were corporate. You knew it.
Yeah, and because of that, it got so annoying or uninteresting because everything became, oh, the sponsor gets the best coverage and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's maybe some fabric. What do we got here?
Oh, you know what? I think it's the alarm, fire alarm.
Oh, fire alarm people are checking our fire alarm. All right. Anyways, they're gonna be part of the live stream. But yeah, magazines became very, very corporatized. And, you know, you'd see it. It was like, here are the ads for these companies, and then here's all the coverage that those products would get. And every now and then, a brand like ours or a small brand would get a nugget, you know, because they needed to have some kind of fresh news in there, so they'd put it in. But that is currently the state of blogging and that kind of thing, where you see that they're not really covering these small independents the way that they used to be, and it's all like big brands, big budgets, beautiful photography that was, you know, obviously, you know, beautiful photography is nice, but like it all comes at a cost, and it's all shiny. Every blog releases the same information at exactly the same time because, you know, that press release goes out, this item, this information needs to go out on this specific date, and here's your check. Thank you very much. So it's kind of odd that that's kind of become the state of things, and I really miss the independence of what that era was. You know, I remember being at trade shows where whoever did the coverage for whatever blog they were on, and like, they would be there on the Monday, and then the Tuesday they'd be back at the show. I'm like, oh, did you see your post? Right? And like literally those guys would be at the show all day, and then they would put up like 10 blog posts that evening. Here's what's new. Here's what's coming out. Here's all the like. I'm like, these guys are working so hard. And obviously, I think a lot of those guys got snatched up, but then they never got replaced. Or, I mean, the big blogs, you know, they're big news corporations now. You know what I mean? Like every blog that might have started small, they're owned by some giant big company now. So
it's hard to like, you know, reach a certain kind of audience when, you know, you're independent. You're, right. You know, but it's sad, but it is how things go.
Yeah, but I do like that. I mean, you know, with social media now, if you want to seek out certain kinds of information, you can just seek it out. But I guess it's kind of nice to have the viewpoint of someone who is um the viewpoint of someone who's in it, right? Someone who's there to be like, okay, well, this is cool, and like you can like is my opinion on whether or not this is cool, and if you like what I like, then you want to follow up for more things that I can find and dig up stories. But I just really miss that era. Like I'm so out of the loop because I just find that number one, I definitely care less, but I also just don't find a lot of those things to be particularly interesting, right? Like if you look at the I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything like that, but I just find like the blogs that a lot of us, maybe me personally, used to rely on. I'm just like, oh, this is just like reading a magazine back in the day. Like it's ads, disguised as news. And I also find that nobody's particularly critical of anything, right? Like
yeah, because it's as people
right,
pay for it.
right.
Really.
No one is gonna say like, oh, this product collection is lazy, or it's just, how do you even justify these prices? Or nobody says those things, right? It's just like, here's all the newest stuff, blah blah blah. Here's availability, and here's the price, and it's like, there's a big story between here's this item and here's the price and availability. Why is that t-shirt $900, right? I want to know, right?
Everybody want to get you don't want to be like, if as a brand you think that they're gonna write something negative about you, then you're not gonna give them any money. You're only gonna give money to people who are nice to you and always support you, which is like a really sad. I think like things in that sense, like blog have just been done like magazines are. Not that every magazine is a bad source of information, but it became a lot more boring. And I think maybe now like you can look to like YouTubes and like it always has to be the like new like
but you're right, like not every magazine is so
and sometimes it's good to like know the good ones, because in general you want to know the good ones and not really the bad ones.
But like the next time you go to like a new, like not a newsstand or like a bookstore, and there's a magazine, go through them. You'll see like there's the ones that are clearly very like, usually it's the ones that have fragrance samples in them, right? Those ones are usually not the magazine that they're really trying to hit you hard with the proper information. But I mean, you'll see it for yourself. And I mean, the blogs are the same way. Like if you just constantly see big corporate brands littered, and like even like when it comes to independence, it's like, is that independent brand tied to like a rapper or a celebrity? Like, it just maybe they might be semi-independent in that respect, but like I just find that there's a lot of creators still in our space that they just don't get the like notoriety that they need. And I've got friends who have like really small brands, and they just don't like, they're like, how do you get out there these days? I'm like, the reliance on that has certainly become lower. Like you could certainly build your own audience on Instagram, on YouTube. I mean, you guys are part of it. You're part of our, Naked Famous Denim world. You're part of Naked Famous Denim Day. But at some point, like, you just, there was kind of I don't know, you don't really need it, but you need it, right?
Well, I think
it's hard if you're, we came from the generation, like the last bit of it where, we could get into a lot of mainstream stuff, and it brought a lot of eyes onto us, and like that's always important, obviously, right? But
it's important to become a certain size. Like I think the expectation has changed a lot. Like maybe back in the days, people who are starting brands and producing something are relatively like, you want to be big, you have to be big. You're more like, your aim is to be the brand that everybody knows. Whereas nowadays, I feel like your expectation kind of adjusted, where like if you could make enough enough products to actually make them in bulk, and you have enough following, like that is a success in our industry now. It's like
just sustaining yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to be a giant conglomerate anymore.
And I think people shop differently now too, so that like just because it's a brand that you never see in like Nordstrom's or like department store doesn't mean that it's like a lot of people prefer that nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like adjustment, and like everybody has to move with how the world is. I think big brands are going to be big brands regardless. Even if it's a brand new brand, if there was money behind it, you would be big and everybody would know, and that's fine. But
yeah, that's true. A lot of brands are designed, well, not a lot of brands, there are just brands that are designed to be big brands, and they're huge. And when you go to the trade show, they're the guys who've like, I've been to trade shows where it looks like they built full retail stores as their booth. And it's like that booth at that show cost $100,000.
Yeah.
For them to show for 3 days.
Yeah. And if it's Gap or whatever, Tommy Hilfiger, like they obviously can afford it and do it. But sometimes it's a brand that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But you will hear about it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear about it soon because there's so much money behind it, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna make the next big brand, and then. You hit those, they have connections with the big retailers, and like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have this massive ad campaign, blah, 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 blah. They sign on big time. They're like, no problem. You're going to have this. You're guaranteeing me this? Okay, we're on board. Where it's like, a little brand or an independent brand just doesn't have that capacity.
Yeah.
But they don't need it anymore also.
Right.
Like, they can build their own audience. I mean, it's a little bit harder just to get eyes on yourself initially.
Yeah.
But at the same time, social media makes it easier for you to curate a community than it was before.
And be discovered by people who share the same values.
Yeah, because before that, like, in the early 2010s, blogger sphere, maybe Instagram wasn't that big, and, Facebook was still there, but, if you wanted to be found, you really had to, if you're like a local New York brand, you kind of had to rely on like the community around you, right? So everyone around you had to like you, and then somehow maybe somebody wrote about you. You just did a lot of things, just kind of had to work, right? Whereas you could be rather independent and, have the right, content on YouTube or the right content on Instagram. And then people who are looking for that kind of content will find you. Right. And then you can curate your audience that way. And then now you have, like, you don't have to just rely on the people who are around you anymore. It's like, okay, here's the things that I like, small, like craft made leather goods. Hey, there's these guys on, from such and such. They make that and they're great. And so, yeah. And anyways, I don't know, weird rant, but, the way that being discovered has changed over the years, and the less reliance on, that the media in general, to find your own way.
I feel like, like apparel industries always finds a way to keep things interesting. Like I think that's what I like about it, or like, we might have to change ways to work, work the system, but it's always, you can always find creative, interesting things. Some other way.
Is there gonna be is Instagram the new version? Like, let me put it to you this way. I guess we went from magazines telling us what was cool to bloggers telling us what was cool to the bloggers kind of basically being either, fading out because it's a hard industry, or them being plucked up by larger conglomerates to be their new writers and editors and things like that. So there's that chain. And so the independent now written out of the equation, and the independent is just you, where it's like you now have the ability, without having to rely on someone to find it for you, to just now find it yourself. because everything is now at your fingertips. And that, I think, is the case. But will there be a resurgence of just the independent who's gonna do? I suppose the independent who's gonna do that is someone on YouTube now. That's the YouTuber. That's the YouTuber who's looking up.
That's
That's the YouTuber.
Yeah.
All right, problem solved.
We talked about this earlier too. It's we all change a new platform, blah blah blah. But
Venomous Teddy. A lot of tech YouTubers are like that now. Like, there are certainly a lot of I watch a lot of tech YouTubers, and you can tell. I mean, there's corporate ones who will review anything.
Yeah.
And they go the. If you ever watch Japanese programming, they go the. There's a lot of food programming here, and like everything for some reason is like a 50 out of 10 in terms of taste. Like, just the exact. Look it up. I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube later on. But the exaggeration of like every kind of meal that they can have like a regular French fry, and they're just like, oh my god, that's the most amazing French fry I've ever had. I'm like, lighten up. Like, I just want to know what happens if like something actually exciting happens to you in life. But sometimes they talk, oh, they open them, wow, amazing. I'm like, tone it down. Like, those are the ones that I just okay, enough. Right? But there are certain ones who are, I think, a lot more choosy with the types of products that they review. And I think because of that, and in contrast to the ones that are certainly, look, they're making money. They got beautiful studios. You watched a lot of these guys grow.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that you can rely on more because it feels like, every now and then there's clearly, they were given review units, and everybody was given a review unit where it's like, okay, this is going to come out on a certain day, so everyone's going to release the video on a certain day, so just maximum impact. But you can tell from the ones that don't do the video on that item that they're just like, nah, I'm good. Like, so it
and in parallel, like, it's not so much to that point yet, but obviously, like, like influencers have been bought in a lot of cases. And, you can still find a lot of people who are honest and who are actually like, trying to give everybody a good advice. And there's also people who are just like, this is my livelihood. I'm going to, do whatever it takes to just, be.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
It's weird because we get approached. I mean, there's probably 10 DMs a day from like, hey, I'm a model, I'm a this, I'm a that, and blah blah blah. Can we collaborate? I'm like, if you anyways, maybe you're one of these types of people who send me that DM every now and then. The word collaborate to me is just, it's so funny because you're not looking to collaborate. You're looking for me to pay you to take a picture, and like, oh, I have 50,000 followers. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
model and influencers are just looking.
You're just looking for your next paycheck. So stop telling me, it's always the same generic answer. And I feel like they've got some kind of machine that just pumps out that DM to 1,000 different people a day. And like, obviously when you go fishing, you put out a lot of rods, you're going to get some fish. So it works. But like, there's also the type of like, quote unquote influencer that like, there's these beautiful shots and it's just like them with like a pack of vitamins. And it's like, oh, these are my favorite vitamins. And oh, they make sure that I have all the manpower that I need. And the girls notice it too. And I'm just like, nobody looks at this post and is like, oh yeah, that guy really absolutely loves that product.
You would think that, but there's people like that.
Are there people who follow the just straight up, I'm a shill for anything? Like, they have a lot of followers. I presume most of them are bots, right? And it's like,
but there are amongst that, there are people who think that, oh wow, this person has a lot of followers, but their opinions and whatever they recommend must be working because look at this person, is so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, it's
bizarre. I see these posts all the time, and I'm just like, who follows this stuff? Like, who's actually following this person, believing it? And like, every post is it like, Dave Chappelle has that one bit where he's like, I've done ads for Coke and Pepsi. He's like, I'll say anything. Like, and he's like, Pepsi paid me the latest, so they taste better, right? And I'm like, who? Like, these people, literally, it's like, they don't have any kind of like moral, or maybe that's not the word I'm looking for, but like standard. Like if they were pushing one vitamin brand one day, tomorrow they will literally post the next vitamin brand. Like they could care less. Oh, these are my favorite headphones, and then tomorrow, these are also my favorite headphones.
Yeah.
I'm like, which one are your favorite headphones, bro? Like, if you actually have an audience that is like, this is a trustworthy person because they have this aesthetic that I like. Like, at some point, do you not think that even they will be like, I think I'm being lied to at this point. Like, this isn't genuine.
What what's funny is like nowadays when you look at like a lifestyle kind of blogger or vlogger like on YouTube and stuff, and they happen to recommend something, and they all the time, like if it comes from their like actual like heart to recommend this, it's like, oh, I'm not sponsored.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just kind of funny how people like assume that it's a sponsored thing because they're just talking great things about this item.
If they like something, they like it.
And then like saying that I'm not sponsored, it definitely gives them like more credibility, like in terms of the recommendation.
Somebody in here, I forget, I gotta find the question, but somebody asked, how do we make our coffee? And I'm happy to recommend the Mocha Master. There you go. That's the one. That's the one to get, everybody. Get that. They look great. They make great coffee.
Yeah, a little overpriced.
In North America, I find that you can sometimes find them on sale or good prices. In Japan, super overpriced. If you're in Japan, try to find a deal on it. But it's just things like that. Like if I say I like something, it's from the heart. Like I'm not trying to sell you something. I mean, maybe I'm trying to sell you Naked and Famous stuff, but
your livelihood is not.
My livelihood doesn't come from ad revenue. Yeah. Like not that we get a gajillion views or anything like that, but like the Naked and Famous Denim channel is not monetized. I don't monetize this channel because the $10 of video that I probably might not even make, it's not worth it to me for you guys to have to watch 2 minutes worth of ads. I could care less about that stuff. Like, you want to learn about our products, like that is, it's a mini commercial and product, ad in itself. Like, it is what it is. It's there for you to learn about the product. That's what that video is. Do you need to now watch a video about some other thing in front of that? Like, get out of here. I'm not doing that. But if I talk about something I like, it's because I like it. It's not. I'm not gonna.
Yes. I don't think you're a good example of like person not turning into like
a shill.
Because it's just you're paid by Naked and Famous, and then that's what you do. So
So,
but
all the videos they're not sponsored. This is just my job. But I also enjoy. Brandon could probably care less if I do these videos or not. He certainly did not encourage me. Like I just started doing these. They started on Instagram, remember? And like every now and then I'd find myself in the office with, maybe I had some time. And I'm like, oh, let's go on Instagram and like, let's show off some fades, and like, let's talk about jeans. And then it grew into like this fun community. Everybody's here. And like a lot of you guys followed us from like the Instagram live days. So, it went from Instagram live to putting those Instagram live videos on YouTube to just, let's just stream on YouTube and like make these videos a lot easier. But it's the marketing of stuff these days. It's
that's a good point. But I must say, right, also putting an ad on your YouTube is a good way to somehow get another brand's denim being advertised before after. Like I wonder if like we will get
100%. That
like
not that I care.
Ads, but
not that I care about the monetization, but like certainly that was a concern of mine. I'm like, I don't want some other denim brand's ad running in front of my video. Right? I made the video like, because they have more money than me, they can place their ad on my video. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I don't really see like a lot of denim ads. The only thing I can think of is Levi's.
Yeah, they got a lot of money.
Right.
But that's true. like, in our sphere, nobody's paying for like YouTube ads.
I guess not.
Right. But like it will be like a big, the Gap or Does the Gap do YouTube ads? I don't know. I've never seen a Gap ad. What are the kind of YouTube ads I get? It's real estate ads. Like, for some reason, I get a lot of like real estate ones. And
What
I can't even remember. That's good actually. That I can't even remember because like it's not working on me.
We're not watching it.
I'm not watching it.
A lot of government ads.
Yeah, the government likes to sell me ads.
Yeah, Canada government has a lot of ads. I've never seen the Japanese government ads. I don't think they're.
Yeah, they're not into it. I get it. Yeah, that's right. Canadian government ads for whatever program that they've got to tell you about. That they're telling you. Yeah, they spend a lot of money on ads. That's for sure. Google makes a lot of money off the Canadian government. A lot of people make a lot of money off the Canadian government. All right, go YouTube. At least they're funding this platform for me for the low price of $0. So thank you to all you ad buyers out there because you are making this live stream happen. Sponsored by nobody, but thanks everybody. There you go. Teddy and Selvedge, y'all are kind of gangster in that way for not being monetized. F that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I don't care if we get 100,000 subscribers. I am never monetizing this channel. I remember at one point, YouTube, I don't know what happened with it, but YouTube wanted to make it such that non-monetized channels would have ads running in front of them. And it was just like, we're going to make the ad money, and then you won't, right? And it's like, that's for creators, that you're literally stealing their labor at that point, right? Like, if you're making it doesn't, like, even though this is a live stream, right, and I'm not doing like a fully edited video and things like that, if you ran an ad on that's it's not like, you're stealing their work, right? I mean, they're putting it on your platform, so they're trying to bring an audience so you can sell some ads. But like, if they don't want ads, then they shouldn't have to put ads. I don't know. That's a tough debate, I guess, in that respect.
They shouldn't.
We're giving you a platform for free, so we need to make money off of it. But,
we're bringing people onto your platform where you could monetize certain videos who wants to be monetized too. So
yeah,
it's a give and take.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just Cause writes for their coffee making technique. So my coffee making technique is either the Mocha Master, which I for the longest time was a Chemex pour over coffee guy. I did it every morning. I just found like the routine of grinding my own. I had a hand grinder. I would grind the coffee by hand, and I had the proper kettle and pour the water gently, and that was all very part of my morning get up routine. Found it calming a little bit, but modernity sometimes trumps all of that, and so I was just looking up. I always wanted a Mocha Master. Anyways, we found a good price on one. We got it, and like I haven't made a pour over since.
It just thought like it was getting to the it's like every time you want a coffee, you have to like it takes minutes, and it's like it's one thing to have like that time allocated in the morning, but it's like if you're in the middle of the day, if you want, or like if you have guests and you got to make like 10 cups of coffee, like that's just not going to happen.
And then like it has a little warming plate, so like you can make a little bit more. You can have some more coffee throughout the morning. So
this is a better
modernity. Sometimes you gotta embrace it, but you gotta know how to make a cup of coffee. I think that's important.
If you like coffee.
To learn. If you like coffee, get off that instant stuff. Instant coffee does not taste like coffee. It tastes like instant coffee.
Yes.
It is.
And there's no excuse because nowadays you can walk into a gas station and they have like, brewed coffee.
Yeah.
It's like it's not that it's a good coffee, but it's like McDonald's have a decent coffee usually. It's just like you can get like real not bad coffee so easily that you really shouldn't be drinking.
Just do yourself a favor. Even if you got like a Mr. Coffee machine, there's a lot of blog posts on like the best drip coffee machines, and like some of them aren't particularly expensive at all. Do yourself a favor. Just do that. You will really improve your coffee enjoyment with, you know, even like a mediocre coffee machine versus instant coffee.
You know what I like though? Is that like, pre-packed, like fold out forward, like per cup things.
Oh yeah.
Those are kind of useful, and it's not
They're
half
not.
bad.
They're not particularly. They don't have a lot of those in North America.
Yeah, but I see them in like hotels sometimes.
No.
I'm thinking of
So in
Japanese
Japan,
hotels?
yeah, in Japanese hotels they have them. Do we have any of those here? I don't know. So they have these like coffee bags that you put over a cup, and then you pour the hot water over the coffee bag. So it's kind of like a pour over style, but like portable. Very, very useful. But yeah, like you don't have to get super deep into coffee to learn how to do a pour over and things like that. If you want to go that route, but even just a basic, coffee machine, you'll be happy. Trust me. Do you buy bottled coffee? If so, what's your go-to? I do not buy bottled coffee. Although every now and then, especially in the summertime here in Japan, it gets very hot. Sometimes you just want to have some cold brew on hand. And there's like a million brands of cold brew, local cold brew, like local Japanese brands, in just cartons. So like milk cartons of like style cold brew coffee. There's a lot of that. Like,
don't have it.
There's a lot of coffee companies. Coffee's big here in Japan. But so sometimes we'll buy some cartons of coffee and we'll have that. One time we went to a very, very fancy coffee in Jugaoka. Where that fancy coffee place we went to, and we bought the $10 iced coffee bottle. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, it was actually. I was like, I was intrigued because this place was fancy. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was what it was.
It wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool, but it was fancy.
It was for rich ladies to have coffee at lunch.
Rich lady. Who I don't know how successful it will be. There's a lot of rich ladies in that area. I don't know if that would be as successful.
It's like the high tea version for coffee.
Yeah, but it's like it's not like going to Ritz Carlton and have a tea at their coffee shop or tea room or whatever. It's very much like.
Anyways, they had all these like beautiful cups it was very dainty,
and they had the whole like
roasting
roasting, like it's all like glass covered, so like you can see the like giant machine working.
So they made all their own coffee there.
In that way, it was very cool. But
Richard Mesa, do you drink it black? I usually drink with a little coffee. I used to be a black. I drink a little bit of I drink my coffee with a little bit of milk. I drink my coffee with coffee. I drink it with a little bit of milk. I used to do black all the time.
Too.
Yeah.
And then I just I met you, and then you always put like milk and coffee, and then I started doing that. Yeah. Now I enjoy it more.
I can go either way, but it's just I guess I do it now, so I just keep doing it. But I can go either way. I don't put sugar in it. There's no sugar in my coffee. It's always with a little bit of milk. But if I make a mocha, a frappuccino, then there's tons of sugar in there.
Maybe we should talk about something.
Maybe talk about jeans. All right. I know that jeans and coffee can sometimes be interrelated because we love that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Somebody asked about tempi treated.
Oh, why do we only do tempi treated for made in Japan? Good question. Mostly because in Japan, you can do it. So we make our products in Canada most of the year. With the tempi, that stuff's all hung outside to dry. Japan has a climate where you can hang things outside to dry most of the time.
Yeah, but even with that, like we are like it takes longer if we're in the middle of the rainy season. Yeah. So like it is a lot of work, a lot of planning ahead, but it is relatively doable. Whereas in Canada, it's snowing all the time.
From November till May the 1st, we've got snow.
Like every day.
Yeah. So if you want frozen jeans, cool. So it's just a limitation of the weather doesn't work for us so good. And then if you want to like dry them, like we've done rinse wash jeans, and the drying in that goes through a giant industrial dryer, and the texture that you get from that is very, very different from hang drying it. So
and just also to add, like with our MIJ series, we tend to do a little bit more like textured, like hardcore fabric, which often is unsanforized, because unsanforized retained the
texture.
The texture really well, and we want to have that kind of vibe like with the MIJ, whereas like with regular Naked and Famous made in Canada stuff, we're a little bit more more fun and more experimental, but it's not so much like we don't use a lot of unsanforized fabrics. Like, so we don't have to do the tempi treatment.
So for spring 23, we're actually using an unsanforized denim. It's a early 1900 style repro fabric. Fabric. My Japanglish is coming up. Lightweight, I think 8.75 ounces. And so as it's a repro of that era, it's unsanforized, but we're rinse washing that jean. So it goes through an industrial wash. So basically your home washing machine times 20. Like, it's huge, right? If you go to certain, like, sometimes if you go to the laundromat, they have a big machine, and like you can do like 10 loads at once. Like the industrial ones are like that, but like they're even bigger. And then they have industrial dryers, which same thing. So they go through the dryer. So if you can imagine what it's like to do a full wash and a full dry cycle on your jeans at home, that's basically what we're doing on those. So we're not tempi treating them. That's called rinse washing. Tempi is like a soak and a hang dry type of situation. So the textures of those jeans are going to come out much differently. Yeah. The wash really removes all the starch, whereas the tempi, it's still a little bit in there, and because the hang dry and like there's not a lot of abrasion happening on that jean, like it's not getting like kind of beaten up and softened up that way, it still stays rigid.
I also think like if I hang my laundry outside, it just gets hardened for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's the beating up in the dryer. That makes it soft. What's the deal meaning with the micro busted selvage? I think I've heard that before, right or wrong? So the micro busted selvage ID. So on the MIJ jeans, the selvage ID isn't as wide as like when you flip up your cuff. I think I put the MIJs in the the outseam here. We can show you what the regular collection looks like.
Yeah, this is the width of regular average size. But then if it's micro busted,
it's much smaller.
It's kind of like,
but it's a detail that you find on vintage jeans. Like it's a little bit smaller. I guess I could do. I'd have to figure out the research wise when things kind of got a little bit wider on the selvage IDs. On the outseams. But
they were maybe saving as much fabric.
Yeah, maybe they were being as particular as possible back then. But it's also harder to do, right? Because you've got a lot less tolerance. Right? So, that was probably just a thing that, hey, we're finding the defect rate when we're doing it like this much higher. Let's open it up. Makes it easier for us to deal with. So I'm sure that was, there was no, I'm sure that was the decision-making process back in the day. Like when they were, when they were making these changes, it wasn't like an aesthetic thing. Like a lot of design in denim from early days, it was less about design, less about aesthetics as it was about functionality. So
we find value in it because we're just good old days. That's cool, but it's just that wasn't cool.
Right, exactly. Nobody was like, oh, if we make it narrower, it's cooler. We think it's cool because it's rare and it looks
different.
Yeah, there are these like a lot of what you will find in design for our jeans. They're nods to other people who are into jeans, right? It's like, oh, like you're like obviously there's a lot of people who might buy our products who are they're they're not denim nerds, right? They want a good pair of jeans. They went to the shop, and that's the one that they recommended, and they like the fit, they like the look. Great, out the door, I'm happy. I got a good pair of jeans. And then, of course, there's our community here that's a little bit more invested in knowing about denim and learning about denim. And so, like, between us, right, if you see, I'm always looking at people's jeans, no matter what, no matter where. I'm like, oh, Selvedge, oh, cool. I'm like, and then, like, these are all, like, these little micro handshakes between us. And, like, what I find interesting, like, on Reddit or, different forums, sometimes they have, like, these, I remember back in the days in the newspaper, they'd have, like, the missed connections. Remember? Maybe they didn't have, but in the back of the paper, they're like, oh, I saw you on the bus on this day, and, like, misconnect, and, like, and on these forums, sometimes it'd be like, oh, I saw a guy at the bar wearing, Selvedge. I wanted to talk to them, and, like, it's just, it feels weird because, like, you don't know, are you approachable? Like, if you were to see me and be like, oh, that shirt or those jeans, like, oh, I'm happy. I'm the kind of guy who's happy to talk about it. And I'm sure that many people in this chat might also be the same way. Like, and because, we're not all together in a room, we all come here to talk about jeans and learn about jeans. But like, it would be nice that in real life, I would be so happy to strike up a conversation. But there's few of us out there, like, realistically. So, like,
but like, what's the worst thing that can happen? The guy would be like, I don't know what this is. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I would suspect that if you saw someone wearing MIJs,
oh yeah,
they're in. Like, they're not. They didn't
That's
just.
very clear.
Yeah, they didn't just stumble upon that jean. That was.
Yeah, there's a certain kind of jeans that for sure.
Yeah.
They didn't just. Their wife didn't just buy that for him. Or
Right.
anything.
Yeah. That wasn't a random purchase. That was. I made a very conscious decision here, so that was probably something you could. You saw someone wearing MIJs. Oh, MIJs. Yes. You know.
Make an instant
trust me,
friend.
they're waiting. They're waiting for someone to notice. Sebastian Pilche, Bayzed, I saw you wearing the prototype for the MIJ 10 jacket. I think that'll be my first denim jacket. How are you liking it so far? Well, I really just started wearing it yesterday. Mine is the first sample. So there's actually, I think the sleeves are a little long on that one compared to the production
they have
model.
To make because it's unsunfrized fabric,
Yeah.
and again, like, they have to calculate the shrinkage. They usually just make the sample blindly, basically, and just adjust as we need. So it is a little different fit, but
it's a little different than what production will be. It's a little big on me. I'm thinking I'm gonna hot wash that to try and shrink it up a little bit more. Like, I remember, like, with the MIJ 9 jacket, I think it came out long also. I mean, 9, and then we gave it to one of our staff members who were like, if you ever see, like, the new videos, like, I would always kind of do the fit walk, but, like, recently in the last couple of videos, we've got Tristan from our Montreal store, and he's, like, really tall and long, and, like, that jacket fit him perfectly. He's like, he's got really long arms. Yeah. And I've got long arms for my height. Generally, I find.
He's tall and have long arms.
Yeah. So that sample fit him so good. So he was so he has that one. But I've only had it for on for a day now. I find I have to shrink it up a little bit more, and then I'll be. I think it'll shrink up with a hot wash. So I'll keep wearing it. I'm gonna wash it before I wear it a lot. So maybe the color will change a little bit more right off the bat. Yeah. But you guys stay tuned to me. Stay tuned to Risa. We're gonna have more, like, fit pics and things like that on our Instagrams.
Yes.
If you want to follow up with our fades and things like that, you can. And we're gonna do some live chain stitching soon. So
hopefully,
we're getting a setup for it. So if you want to watch Risa chain stitch some stuff,
we'll see.
We're gonna show that off. White Lightning, aka Aqua. I remember that on the Hype Beast forums. Yeah, like the missed connections. Dude, I remember back in the days when, early 2000s, when, Sneakerhead was still not as it was not mainstream like it is today. It was like, there were guys, and you might have, it's kind of like, I would say even less mainstream than raw denim. Like there was a guy that you knew, or you might have been that person who was like the sneaker guy. Like you were on the forum, you were on Hypebeast and like High Snobiety and whatever, Sneaker Freaker magazine and things like that, and like you were into it. Like you were buying all these rare sneakers from Japan, and like that was this release and that was that release, and like buying especially colorful sneakers at the time, a lot of colors, and like I remember just. You'd be I was living in Toronto, so, and you're on the metro or you're on the subway and you see a guy. I'm like, like, because you knew, like, I'm like, you're wearing those, right? You didn't find those, right? You didn't just, I know that was a very specific purchase, and like, maybe you could approach that person or not, but nowadays, rare sneakers seems to be like people know about them. Back then I felt like it was still a secret handshake, right? But by early 2000s it was definitely more so than if you were in it in the 90s. And then if you were sneaker collecting in the 90s, you were way ahead of the game, right? I found out about Bape, and then through that I found out about sneaker culture, right? I was importing Japanese fashion magazines at the time, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I was so like taken by Bape, and
yeah, but it's like anything, like it's kind of ruined. Whereas like I'm sure there's still like so much people who are genuinely into it, but like the resale culture
the whole culture
really like ruined it, and there's a lot of people who are just in it for the money or for the notoriety, and it's just
I wonder if the sneaker prices have crashed the same way that other collectibles have crashed in the last little while, quote unquote crashed. I mean, it depends on when you got in, but yeah. Sebastian Pilj, I saw and followed your Wonder Looper page. The chain stitch is out of this world. You're both so talented. Will you release those tees? Well, the tees and stuff, or when will you release those tees? When will you? That's coming out holiday, so stick around. Risa's the talented one. She's the one who can make anything and everything.
I'm not very good at keeping up with the Instagram, but I will. Keep you guys updated.
I'm good at talking. I'm a good talker. Sneakers is too much nowadays. The saturation point has put me off the scene entirely. I can see that. I mean, it went from like, I remember back in the day, like the release schedule is like 10 sneakers a year, and it's like, like rare ones, and like you knew, right? Now it's like every month there's
week,
like 10. I'm like, how do you keep up with this stuff? I mean, they certainly have created a situation where they know that there's a certain group of customers that will buy everything, and like it's just like with mobile gaming, I guess. Like there's just this core audience that spends all the money, and then they fuel everything and help to keep, especially in the sneakers, they help to keep that whole thing relevant. But I mean, I don't think that it'll ever go away. I think people like sneakers enough now that it's just an established, this is staying. That ain't going anywhere. But yeah, I'm certainly not. I'm like, if I have to, like, I'm the kind of guy like, if I have to wait, I don't want it.
Well, it's kind of sad because like every now and then I still find like cool sneakers that I would want to buy, but it's like, oh, release at this time, and blah blah blah, or lottery or whatever, and I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I just want it, and like, it's like that makes me not want to buy it.
You can tell me what date they're gonna be out on, but if you're making me jump through hoops, like if you're saying send us,
but it's like if it's going to be like you get it now, or you would have to buy it from resellers.
Right.
Like that's just something like I just with Naked Famous we do release the time have releases, time to releases, but like
that's just so we're gonna be out on that day.
Yeah, but a lot of the time we're not like trying to make it impossible, and I don't think it's like there is a market where like people take advantage of that. No. So I think it's just like if you're interested, you want to get in on it now, but it's
now like lottery systems and like give us your email, get the app. Like you have to do all this stuff just to buy a pair of shoes. I remember like there's a Nike store here in Tokyo, and like, you know, for COVID, a lot of stores in Tokyo, they didn't require, like, you could just go in, right? But like there are certain stores that were like, nope, like we have all this, like, you need to have this, you come in for an appointment, and I'm like, ugh, forget it. Like I'm just not.
Like the Swatch,
Oh yeah, the Swatch thing.
Omega.
Yeah,
thing.
it's a whole nightmare with
whole
that.
saga.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a whole nother saga. But let's do some previews. First off, I want to preview my Indigo.
Or Ambassador BD.
Oh, BD.
Yes, we haven't called out yet. But
oh yeah, let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
Can like this
like button now if you like it.
Like the like button, everybody. Just gently give it a little tap to let everybody know, show your appreciation for our unmonetized channel. It does help us. I do wonder if not monetizing us prevents us from being discoverable, because YouTube doesn't make any money off of us.
That's part of it.
That
but
might
you
be
know,
part
to
of it.
be honest, I don't know.
But it's not a reason to like us. The reason to like us is because you like us. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't done that already. Tell a friend about us, and we'll continue with the show. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna start off first with my raw cotton slubs, which I've been wearing for the Indigo Invitational. They're gonna get washed right after I do my Indigo Invitational photos. So here they are. I hope you can. They definitely smell, so you might want to take. It's hard to see. Maybe, you know, it's really.
It's way worse in person. I'm gonna say that.
I have to say that it's been very difficult to really capture this, because like everything, cameras, it always overexposes it. Yeah. But like there is this grime on top, and it is top to bottom. And yeah. You know what I figured that was? My phone case. Right, because that's my phone pocket. So I think it's just the leather from my phone case just rubs off. So like there's black, but there's also blue, and that was from an Indigo jacket that I was wearing. Again, it's hard to see, but under the right angle, you can see
You only wore it for like a couple hours, and it just got like so blue.
Yeah, there's an Indigo chore coat, and it's just like a line of blue.
Yeah.
That's covering all the dirt. There's some pizza stains here and there.
But before we get to this level, like I noticed that you had some Indigo here too, and I think that was because you were touching all the jeans and then putting hands in your pocket.
Yeah.
Too.
So it definitely picked up a lot of that. I've got a great wallet stain back here. Behind the legs, there's a good amount of filth. Here's a neat one, and I'm hoping to show that up because I cuff my jeans, right? So you can see like where the dirt is, hopefully. And then when you uncuff it, like it's gonna be like, you can't see it. It's hard. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna turn the contrast down a little bit. Maybe you'll get a little bit of a better. Second exposure. Is that too dark? Can you see it now? Okay, that's better. So you can see it here, and then you're gonna fold that down, and it's gonna be clean. Like I do. Well, less clean. Still dirty in there. Life finds a way, man. Anyways, more clean over here. So you can see like where I've rolled it and unrolled it. Like those lines of filth have just been piling up.
Every time I uncuff a jean that I've been wearing cuffed for so long, I'm just scared.
Yeah, you're scared to find what's in there.
Crumbs.
But yeah, you get a better look at it now. So you can see, you know, the back pocket fade. There's just some random crud behind the legs. I must have sat in something like over here. Sorry, I know it smells. They smell. They're gross. Oh yeah, here you can definitely see it better now. But yeah, these have been seeing a lot of wear. And for a white denim, I mean, they're not white. It's a crew. The knees, a lot of dirt on the knees. That's from working in the warehouse. You know, moving stuff around, being in the showroom and stuff. Our Indigo floors. I definitely picked up some filth from that. You know, some folks are a little bit afraid of wearing like a crew denim. They're worried about the stains. I mean, the stains are gonna come, but they're all gonna come off. I don't think that anything on here is permanent. Like when I wash these, they're gonna look basically new again.
Maybe the paint would stay a little.
Yeah, there's a little paint stain there on them. anyways, it's kind of, you are getting a reverse fade, in a way. Like, I can see where on like a regular pair of my jeans I get like these weird lines, like these lines here, right? And like on my Ecru's, it's all dirt, and it just shows you also how much dirt is in your Indigo jeans without you even noticing it.
Yeah, like when it started to get to this point, like I was just like, oh, it
because
was like
you were wearing
yeah, and it looked like, how like you can start to feel the grime building up by just the texture changes, the little waxy,
Yeah.
little like greasy. And I was getting to that point, and I'm like, I looked at this jeans, it's like, oh, I know it's all there. It's all there. I didn't want to touch this jeans, but like I'm touching my legs all the time, and I know I'm touching the same things. It's like it's I don't want to think about it.
I'm not sure you've held them up to near Risa's head enough. Sorry about that. No, she's been look.
I've been around.
She's been around these jeans for a while. Like when I went to Montreal, when we went to Montreal, I was thinking, oh, like how many outfits am I gonna pack? I packed these jeans and 4 black t-shirts and that pink jacket over there, and that was it. I wore these jeans every single day.
I wore mine every single day too, and that was the longest stretch of time that I wore the same jeans every single day.
Yeah,
like all day, not even like just when we go out. It was just like morning till night.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else. I brought a pair of shorts, which I lost, and there was this was all I had to wear. I wore these all day.
Yeah,
and it was hot.
For, like sleeping.
16-ounce denim, hot. Like, okay. Well, let's just do it. Summertime. I'm not worried about the heat in the summer anymore, because I like, to be fair, like they're not skin tight on me, and I think if they were skin tight, it might have been a little bit more uncomfortable. But 100%. The weight did not bother me at all, even in Japanese summer. So
ever since I came back from that trip, though, like I've been wearing way less of my jeans. One, because I know it's dirty, and I'm just wondering if I should wash it. But it's also like because it's so hot, like I have like a looser jean with lighter weight. I'm just like, I always kind of like I gotta go lighter.
Yeah, the more writes, are you placing them outside to air out? I am not, and I'm a little wary of putting things outside to air out because the wind has certainly, I've lost some things.
You lost
I lost some Naked Famous shirts.
One day that I usually do all the laundry, and one day I asked him to hang like a couple of shirts that I didn't want to go into the dryer.
Gone. And I'm like, and I saw where they were, but like it was like the back of the next door's building, and I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm like,
and I wasn't around, so like if he went to get it and somebody talked to him, it's like you're trespassing or whatever, then you're not gonna be able to talk your way out.
No, I wouldn't be able to. And like I would have had to like jump over this fence, and then like who's this foreigner guy who's jumping over a fence to go into this dude, they would have arrested me, and Risa would have been like anyways, it would not have been good for Bayzad. The moral of the story is
it wasn't worth it. Yeah, that shirt wasn't worth that.
I was like, see you later. And then I was expecting that someone would find it and maybe just hang it outside the front of the building.
Which often happens. There's some like random things that
because everyone in Japan hangs their clothes to dry. We have a washer dryer machine, which is very less common. Like, like most people still hang their clothes to dry here.
Oh yeah, like even if they have a dryer, they don't use it unless like it's raining or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like pretty common.
A lot of people don't have dryers here. It's mostly washing machines. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's mostly like nowadays. Like if you're buying washing machine now, you're probably gonna buy the one that is combined.
Yeah,
but
like buying a dryer on its own. Very rare.
It's pretty rare.
They're like, it's all either you have a washing machine or you have a washer dryer machine, but like you don't have two, you don't have both. And I remember we were at Costco, which had one, and they wanted like $3,000 for.
Yeah, well, every electronic store has the dryer. It's just like
they're not as common as the North American ones,
and
they're certainly not as good. Yeah, they're so small. Yeah, if I could bring one thing over. I've seen people on forums talk about like bringing them over and then like getting the power involved. They had to get like the electrician to like set up all the electricity and stuff for it.
100%. And like the dishwasher also, because dishwashers in Japan, the biggest ones are like half the size of American ones.
Yeah. Decibels. Buddy in LA has a combo wash dry. It takes like 3 hours to complete a cycle. It does take a while.
Yeah, so I can't do like multiple cycles. That is the only downside of it. But I also don't need to be there to like put it in a dryer.
Yeah.
You know how many times I forgot like that was in the washer?
Yeah. Adam N. My raw cotton slubs have a bit. Oh wait. My raw cotton slubs have bike seat grime, indigo around the top from my PBJ t-shirt, and the burgundy behind the cuff from my boots. Well, there you go. That's a beautiful, colorful patina there. Nice color palette. Okay. Let's show off a couple of fall previews because we have a couple right here. Well, first off, we'll start off with this one. This one, I don't think we talk about enough. Yeah.
No, but it's actually a very good jean. I like it a lot.
Yeah. And so this is the perfect blue stretch selvage. Slub stretch selvage. This is, to start off, for people to recognize the fabric base, this is the same fabric base that we did for the Sakura slub stretch. We did the Dragon Ball Goku. We did the Dragon Ball Cell in this fabric. So the warp yarn is this construction is one that we've used quite a few times. Yeah. One of our favorite constructions. And the weird thing for me is that I don't consistently name them. They always come out with a different, like if we have like Okayama Spirit, it's like Okayama Spirit, this one, it always comes out under different names. So like Sakura Slub Stretch Selvage. The Ryu denim was this one as well. Golden Hour Slub Stretch. Yeah. We have, now I think I'm just calling it Slub Stretch, but there's like Midnight Slub Stretch coming for Spring Summer 23. So that's an Indigo by Black version of this one. This is like a pure indigo. So this is it's synthetic indigo, but it's regular indigo. Okay. With a natural colored weft on the beige weft on the inside.
The color, it's hard to see here, but it is like it's got a little like interesting color. Like the indigo is also not too dark. It's like I would say it's on the
warmer tone.
Yeah, lighter side with the brown or beige feel. So it's subtle. It looks normal, but it's just I do really like with the combination of the orange stitching and like it came out really nice.
Yeah, it's got a very classic, I would say, even Western jeans tone to it. But what makes it different from like maybe a classic Western wear denim is the slub texture and of course the stretch. But the slub texture is very noticeable. Like it's quite flamey. You can see it right away. You can see how just textured that denim is. And this is for a stretch samphorized fabric. And if you've ever seen faded photos of the Sakura or the Goku or things like that, you will see it looks like rainfall. Very, very beautiful nice fading. Yeah. We'll show some comparisons of that when these come out for retail. But yeah, this is one of the jeans that like as we've done all these previews, I don't think I showed it off very often at all. So maybe you caught it in the video that might have struck your a chord with you there. But I'm really looking forward to this jean coming out. I love the color. Very, very different from like your typical dark indigo left-hand twill or something like that. But I don't have a release date set for this. Probably sometime in October. So that is the perfect blue slub stretch selvage. There you go.
It'll come in a bunch of fits in women's too.
Right. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It'll be another great women's option. Tidy and Selvage, Midnight Slub Stretch, Take My Money, Indigo X Black is jeans crack.
Oh,
there's a little dropping bars on us. I think somebody needs to write a raw denim rap song.
Yes, somebody should.
Not me.
I feel like you should.
I should. I don't know.
All right. You want to move on?
That was my rap.
Scratch test? Did you do a scratch?
I didn't do a scratch test, but you know what? These are going to be fun to compare. So let's do a scratch test here. You guys can see this is the perfect blue slub stretch selvage. let's do that again. So we're going vertically. Now horizontally.
You can hear the slub and the horizontal scratch.
You can
slub is on the warp.
You can definitely hear that slub. It is not a smooth scratch at all. So there you have it. You can hear the difference.
Yes,
depending on the texture.
But how much of a difference? We all gotta. We all still gotta train our ears. We wouldn't know. But I also wonder if like how long your nails are at that time also affects.
Yeah, we might need a device, like a standard device. Scratch bar. Yeah. Missed the late night Bezad Jean name call out. That was the perfect blue slub stretch selvage coming this fall.
All right. Have a radio channel with this.
I need a better microphone and get that soft radio voice. But I think those guys often have just good voices.
Oh, 100%.
They've got okay, the next one is the raw cotton canvas. So this is a duo. We've done we did the linen blend denim, so that was the raw linen. We've got we did another one before that. We did linen? Yeah, before the linen we had like a duo of fabrics that were, or was it maybe we started with linen. This is the second one. Raw cotton canvas is this one. We had the raw linen slub. Yeah. Am I forgetting anything else? No, they were just kind of like these non-denim jeans that we put out. Maybe I've got too many seasons in my head. But this is a non-denim option here in two colors. So we've got the olive green and we've got the kind of khaki brown colored here as well. A very slubby, heavier weight canvas. I forget the weight exactly, but they kind of feel 15 ounce, 14 something, 0.5. Reese is going to double check for us right now. But as you can see, very, very slubby. A lot of texture in that denim. And it's actually, well, it's not denim. A lot of texture in this jean. This is a canvas. So it's a classic 1x1 construction. Non-selvage, but a great color and just really beautiful options for the fall. If you need a good color option, if you need a little bit of color in your wardrobe, especially like these military style colors, these are great options for you. Very rigid. You can see these are very, very crispy fabrics. I mean, they really hold up on their own.
14 ounce.
14 ounce, but they are very rigid.
It's very
like, if I could.
It feels heavy.
It feels heavy. So you can see here. I mean, compared to, this is not particularly. It's not rigid, but it's just you don't have the same kind of flop. Maybe you do, but it feels much more rigid. Yeah. The undercarriage flop. I'm using a pizza review terms. Not a lot of flop here.
And what I like about these is that obviously it's a lot heavier than our duck canvas that we run in core.
Yeah.
But it's also the colors are a little more
warm and there's a little bit more nuance into these fabrics here as well. So you've got a lot more earth tones. If you want to pair this up with a denim jacket, boots, this has got a lot of workwear vibes for me, military vibes as well. Very, very masculine colors. That's true. So very rigid, two color options. I forget what the price point on these was. $162. So I think a pretty good price point for this. And then let's get that scratch test going. So this is the raw cotton canvas. This is the raw cotton canvas. Fall Winter 2022 Naked Famous Denim collection coming up. So we've got the vertical scratch test and the horizontal scratch. Very rough on both sides. Very rough on both sides.
You can hear the little bassy sound.
Yeah. So because this is just not a smooth fabric at all, both warp and weft, you really get.
I think it has something to do with the weave too, though.
Right. So we're gonna learn all the different sounds of denim. I love your black. Your black I love your black patches. You can tell it's quality leather. I have to say, we spend a lot of time on leather. We don't spend a lot of time talking about leather, but we spend a lot of time selecting leather for our jeans. You know, if you notice, most of our jeans, like we don't use the same leather patch. We don't use the same patch for everything. It's always different, right? Like we might have like a black leather patch that's used on different multiple jeans, but you know, most of the jeans in our line feature different color leather patches. I mean, you know, the next jean I'm going to show off. So like that, you know, one season, different qualities, different makes, all, you know, different compositions. So there's a lot that goes on in our just leather selection process. Like it's a lot of fun actually. We have so many leather swatches in Montreal. In Brandon's office, he's just got so much leather. And so we're always picking out new stuff, and our leather guys are like, "Oh, this would be really cool." So our leather suppliers are they're into
much
it,
like us in a way that like, oh, this is a new cool leather, and it's like that's kind of like, you know, how we are with the fabric.
I'm glad that you notice it, and we try to deliver the goods when it comes to you know, leather selection options. And then last but not least for today's previews is the Japan Heritage Kasuri. I've showed this off a few times, but if you're new to the program, or if you missed those previews, this is the latest edition of the Japan Heritage, and it's a pretty cool fabric, I have to say. So from the outside, looks pretty classic, right? Dark indigo, contrast stitch, veg tan leather patch. Look at it a little bit closer, and you're like, oh, what's that color? Why are there colors here? That's interesting, right? Because from far, you definitely don't really see it. You really got to be up close and personal with this fabric for you to notice it. And then when you flip the cuff, you see where the magic happens, right? And that's right here. So this is a Kasuri dyed multicolored weft yarn. So what's neat about this is that we have a single strand of yarn that is dyed with multiple colors in a gradient tone. So I have the yarn right here, this is how it's dyed actually, so you can see it. It's a little knotted. I think I've used this too many times. Whoa! I'll use the other end where it's less knotty. But there you have it. Oh, there it's tied. So you can see that this yarn is a single strand, but it has all these different rainbow colors. So it's a manual process in order to create this yarn, and you'll see if you can line it up right, which I sometimes can do it. You can see how they dyed it. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it's probably more like that. No, I think. Anyways, the pitch. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Can't do it right now. Something like that? No.
Yeah, like that. I mean, it's gonna be like a little different.
Yeah. But anyways, basically they have the yarn kind of like laid out horizontally, and then they pour the dye on top so that you kind of get the same area vertically with the same color. And that way, when you weave with this fabric, you have the same color. You have multicolors going through left and all along the horizontal. So it's not like a Grandrel yarn where we take two different colors of yarn and twist it together to make a multicolor yarn. This is a multicolor yarn on a single yarn. So very, very interesting, and it makes a very, very beautiful fabric. And this will be available in denim form like this. So in Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy, jeans form, denim form. Yeah, it's always in denim form. You know, I sometimes I make that mistake of saying interchangeably using the term jeans and denim. I try not to. I try to make sure that there is a distinguishment between the two. So thanks for correcting me. This will also be available in denim jacket. So multiple ways to enjoy this fabric. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. This is going to be one of the, I think, like, as far as Naked and Famous Denim highlights over the years, this is going to be one that is going to be remembered. Like, when these are gone, people are gonna be like, "Oh, where can I get
Are
those?
you gonna?
Are you gonna do those
make
again?
this
You're gonna do those again?" And it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Relax, guys." Well, we will, but it may not be for a while, or like when we redo it, it'll be different. So maybe different colors on the inside. So, if you want this one, get it when you can. I think these ones are gonna be very popular, and memorable. Like there are certain styles in Naked Famous Denim history that just they live on. Like every season, there's always great fabrics, but there's just I think these moments that are like that's some very very memorable one. Like I try to remember like Japan Heritage, Solid Black, was the one before this one. We did, and before that, I think it was a while. Like we did.
Yeah, Japan Heritage Returns.
Yeah.
Which we did like in I don't know.
Like 2018 or something like that.
Something like that.
And
we were still definitely living there.
Right. And then there was like a Indigo by Black Japan Heritage, and then there was original Japan Heritage. So there haven't been too many Japan Heritages over the years, but it has developed its own following and name. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but Japan Heritage Returns, that was a big one because like that was the return of the OG, the original one. And a lot of people were excited for that one. And then we started playing around with the ingredients a little bit. Like Okayama Spirit is coming back as MIJ. And so
original Okayama Spirit. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is that like Okayama Spirit base, that's gonna be MIJ. Like I'm gonna play around with this base because I love this base. And I think doing the unsanforized tempi treatment on this base, we have so much room to play with to make really, really beautiful, incredible jean jackets too. And so, yeah, I think I'm gonna reserve Okayama Spirit only for MIJ, because I can make.
Because like Okayama Spirit, it's about texture.
Yeah.
And I think MIJ is the best way to do unsanforized textured denim because we can like. Again, preserve it with the tempi treatment. Like, not just preserve it, but make it better with tempi treatment. And it's just going to be, like, so textured.
Yeah. So
I think it's a good way.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new developments there. And I think you'll be very happy with them. Wow. Racer Guy 008. Wow. Looks like the cotton candy denim. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of colors going on there. It does look like candy. Venomous Teddy. Somehow I feel like this is not the only application, and these dyed yarns will see from you. Yeah.
We'll probably do something else.
Oh, I read things funny because I suck at reading. Somehow I feel like this is not the only application of these dyed yarns we'll see from you. I read it funny.
But I get it.
You got it. Okay.
I got it.
Slow. The Moor is going to be a lot of fun switching those up with different boots and tops. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of options with these. The boot guys, I think, are going to go nuts with these ones.
And I like that these like rainbow colors are not like really like bright, vivid like rainbow. It's very like soft and like I don't know. It's very nice.
I think it's very nice, very pleasant, and yeah. I also like that the boot, like within every community, like people are just embracing a lot of newness and like
this much, so it's not like the entire jean is this way. So it's a lot easier for people to be different slightly.
Yeah, unless if you want to have a cuff like that, you could have a cuff like this and just have a little tiny bit showing off. And like it doesn't matter what color your boots are. Like if they're red or they're brown or like even like an orangey brown, like, it'll pop with this.
With the jackets too, I was thinking like it kind of looks like it doesn't look like it, but the idea is kind of like what's the brand Paul Smith, like how like it has
a lot of stripes
inside. Yeah. It's kind of like that.
That's cool. Sebastian Pelje, love the MIJ 10. I can't wait to get my hands on the Okayama Spirit tux. It's gonna be. You know what? I also have a pair of the jeans here that I'm thinking about bogarting. So
is that gonna be your next Indigo pair?
It might be my next Indigo pair. I have to. I mean, last year was all black. This year's all the crew, and then I'm gonna go Indigo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you gotta choose carefully.
Yeah. I need more, we all need faded indigo jeans in our lives. So the more I have, the better. I mean, I could use more than one black faded pair, but at least I have one pretty good faded pair. So, there you have it. Would you recommend hanging or folding your jeans? Sebastian, that V asked that question. Sebastian Pilger writes, definitely hang your jeans. I fold all my jeans. I don't think
like in your closet?
Yeah.
I fold too.
Yeah.
I don't have enough hanging space.
Even if I did, I would fold them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have, they take up a lot of space when they're hanging. But
it's like if you have the space, it might look nice because it would just have like a
a rack. I mean, it's nice to have
I definitely prefer my clothes hang. That way, I don't have to if I
you don't
break
have to dig
that
for them.
fold pile and then I have to redo it and my cat sit on it and her hair is everywhere.
I do like a fresh folded pile. I just like the way it looks, and I don't like messing it up. You're right, but my jeans, I've always folded them. I think it's because I've always had not always had a lot of jeans from a lot of my life. I've had a lot of jeans, and if I was hanging them all, it would not be possible. BD, I have some folded jeans that are bench warmers, and my main rotation are hanging. Well, there you go. Cool. Niffin Ali, I'm always in late. What am I missing? You're not missing movie recommendation time. I'll tell you that much. We're going to get into that. But today we covered a bunch of previews.
Yeah.
We did the Pure Blue Slub Stretch Selvedge.
Perfect blue
Slub Stretch Selvedge. We did the Raw Cotton Canvas, 2 colors, the olive and the brown. And we did the Japan Heritage Kasuri. You listened to me rant about babying your clothes, the blogosphere and marketing and how that's changed throughout the years.
We also talked about our next releases, which will be next Friday.
Right.
We didn't have any release today.
Yeah, the Blue Smoke, and how we're missing the Labor Day sale this weekend due to some technical issues with our system at home, but we will make it up to you this month.
But also, the release-wise, we're going to have the leather patches available on Friday as well. So if you've been waiting for that, you can take it.
And if you don't know where you're going to be able to change out your leather patches, you're going to customize them. It's going to cost a few bucks, but nothing crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can, if you want a buffalo leather patch on your jeans, you can put it on. Right?
Yeah, we have the guy version too. If you want
new version of the logo.
So
and we have a leather patch that's a minimal design that is just the Naked Famous Denim text logo. So if you want to just have a patch that is more focused on the leather, then we have that as well. So a lot of different options there.
Too, right?
We do have a cordovan one. So we have a shell cordovan leather patch as well. So that one's going to cost a little bit more than the rest of them, but it's the most beautiful leather that we have. Okay. We're gonna leave that there. We're gonna get to movie recommendation time. Do we have snack time today? I don't think we have anything particularly interesting, do we? No.
I don't think so. You want me to check?
Do a little quick check. Just a little peek in the little pantry there. We haven't been really out much this week. So we haven't gone grocery shopping and found something neat. I don't think that we did. Decibels. Will the patches be stitched around all 4 sides, or will some allow belt through? We are going to leave that to you. If you want it all 4 sides, we can do it all 4 sides. If you want it belt through, you can do it belt through. We recommend on the thicker leather patches, so not like this sample. On the thicker leather patches, we recommend all 4 sides down because it stays on better. With the thicker patches, when you only do top and bottom, you can sometimes run into issues of this patch coming apart. So if you want to run that risk, that's on you. And if something happens, that's on you. But we recommend the all 4 sides down.
But also, most importantly, you're talking about alteration, right?
Yeah.
Once it's altered, you can't return them. So please be careful.
Yeah. It's
with
like
the
hemming your
measurement
jeans.
test. Yeah.
It's like if you do an alteration, it's a final sale. So just be aware of that. But
you could also request us to like just send the patch too.
Oh yeah.
If you want to just make sure that you get the right size.
That too.
Yeah.
Right. So you can take it to your local tailor shop and they'll put it on for you. I'm sure it'll cost like $5 or something like that. It won't cost them a lot of money to do that. But that's another way. So be sure you know your size when you're ordering. Obviously follow the measurement guides. And then you can determine if it's top and bottom or all 4 sides. But if it's a thicker leather patch and you go top and bottom only, your risk. Because when we do it, not like this sample. The sample was just a sample, so sometimes they just do things quickly. We want you to do all 4 sides. So there you go. Venomous Teddy, can I return if I hem and customize my patch? I'm gonna go with
double no.
Double no. Here's a fun question. If I got an unsanforized jean and I soaked them and I had the leather patch changed and hemmed, can I exchange them for a different size?
That would be the knowest of no's.
That would be the knowest of no's. Yeah, we sympathize with that situation.
Yeah.
But
we do measure every single style of jeans, every single size, because we want to make sure you can get the right size. Yeah. So please do
be aware
careful.
of that. Yeah. We're not, look, you know, sometimes it sounds harsh, but I don't think it's particularly harsh. I think other bigger companies use that not because they think it's, anyways, they have the ability to do that. They have the ability to, you know, toss product aside as necessary. Yeah. You know, our products are very expensive to make. Yeah. And it's not something that we can just, you know, we can accept this much, you know.
And we don't want, like, people who get the correct size to be actually paying for somebody else's mistakes because it will end up being that way.
Yeah.
You know,
we do try to, I think we are the best price around for the type of product that we make. And that's because there's a lot of efficiencies, but we're also not charging you for things that you don't need to be charged for. So, like, anyways, we've had all those debates and talks about that before. So you guys know, we could talk about it later, another time. But we're getting into movie time. Yeah. And Risa found a good snack time. So we're going to have a lot of fun. First up, we got a movie that I'm a really big fan of. And I just picked it up on Blu-ray. And this is Outrage by and Takeshi Kitano, very famous Japanese actor, is in this one. And if you've never watched a Japanese gangster movie before, this is definitely the one to watch. Have you seen this one? This movie is awesome.
I haven't seen the second one. I know there was a second one.
I heard there was a second one. I've not seen that one. This is, like, the title, you know, Savage Mayhem. This film isn't for the squeamish. Yes, true. Yeah. There are some scenes in here that you're just like, holy F.
It's like, how can you even think of that?
Yeah, some of the violence in here is like, whoa. And anyways, it's not like, it's bloody. It's not like horror movie bloody. It's like, it's gangster movie violence, you know. Violence, but there's like obviously a Japanese way of it, and you know the Japanese gangster mentality of like there's some sneakiness and like backstabbingness, and it's just the way that they go about it. It's, if you've ever watched Shin Godzilla, and so that's the latest Godzilla movie that came from Japan, and it was just kind of like a modern take on how Japan would deal with Godzilla had Godzilla showed up, and like it was
very like
the scariness was the bureaucracy.
Yeah,
right,
100%. It's just, and it's so perfect because it is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. If Godzilla showed up here in Japan, it would be that movie. They nailed it, right? And like, so there's, you know, when, as you know, maybe a lot of the people who are watching this are of Western descent, you know, or consume a lot of Western media, you know, you just kind of understand the way that, like, you know, the Western perception of a gangster, you know, from your country works out, right? Like, here's how the gangs and the violent, you know, here's, and like, this is like, there's a politeness to this in a way. And like, you're just like,
yeah, there's respect.
Yeah.
There's,
So, and I believe that to be not that I have any.
Yeah, I don't know any.
I don't know any people in this world,
members,
but I would imagine that it probably works a little bit like that.
Probably.
Yeah. There's one. This is not. There's one scene, which is a real scene where this doesn't spoil the movie at all. This is a non-spoiler, but there's a scene where, because if you've ever been to Japan, you've seen these guys on the streets where they're trying to get you to go to their bar, and then that can lead to some situations, right? And like, yeah, I mean, you see that play out in this movie, and it happens to tourists here all the time. So you know, Japan's a safe country and all. Don't get me wrong, but like, you can find yourself in some trouble if you're not aware of the trouble that can be found. So big recommend on this one. Outrage. I suspect it's on streaming by now. I think it's been popular enough. If not, I mean, I'm sure you could find a way to watch it. Just or buy it. You know, it's worth owning. I've watched this more than a few times. I've enjoyed this movie a lot. So
to go with that movie,
yeah. So we have a spicy snacks.
I mean, we always
do spicy,
but I feel like you guys like us to eat spicy. So this is we've tried this like kind of snack before. It's from the same brand, but this one is using like a Okinawan spice. So Okinawa is the southernmost island of Japan. Yeah. It's kind of like Hawaii in a way that it used to be a different country, like own kingdom, and then like now it's part of Japan. So it has like their cultural difference is very strong, and they have like their famous, I guess, kole goose or
goose pepper.
Goose pepper. It's they have their own peppers, and then like I guess they use that, and then the spiciness level is 5 out of
5 out of 5.
5. Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking forward to some spice. Venomous Teddy, I've never watched a Japanese gangster movie, but I recently played one of those Yakuza games. The Yakuza games are fun.
And it's actually like when you actually walk through those places,
they're real.
It exists.
Those like
when you play that game and come to Japan and go to like Shinjuku Kabukicho and stuff, it's like I've been here.
or in Osaka, what's it called?
Yeah.
What's that area? Shotenbori? No.
Yeah, Dotonbori.
Dotonbori. I think in Yakuza anyways.
Yeah.
It's this it's literally the same. Like a lot of the shops are like the real life shops, those locations are there.
Yes. And then the ads are there, the same. And then I always wonder, like, are they paying the game or the game is paying them?
Yeah, it's really neat. So if you've never been to Japan, you've kind of been there. Like you'll walk through it and you're like, whoa, I know this area.
That's how I know about Don Quixote.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's how you know about Don Quixote. It's that Don Quixote in I think it was Yakuza 4. Anyways, I have a lot of the Yakuza games. I haven't played all of them, but yeah, there's some of the locations like it's there. And like I remember being in Canada playing and be like, oh, we go to this one all the time. Yeah. So,
and then you learn about like the hostess clubs and how things work.
It's very true. Yeah, very true.
Okay, I opened it. Oh wow, it's not red. It looks pink. Looks like rose-colored thing.
It doesn't smell spicy.
It does not smell spicy.
It kind of looks like giant macaronis.
Yeah, it's like this exactly.
Yeah. So usually these things are like they remind me of Ringolos.
Yeah, like
the hostess
powdery thing.
So that's it. Doesn't smell spicy. It's just 5 out of 5 spice.
It's supposed to be like tasty spice. It's not like just spicy spice.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
On the back end, I get a little tingle.
It is not even 2.
Yeah, this is like a 1 or a 0.5 out of
very mild
5.
Unless it comes after.
Even the after spice is like nothing to worry about.
But it does have a different taste than like regular spicy snacks, I feel.
I suppose it builds up the more of these you eat.
Yeah, it's very like mild, but like the taste is not bad.
Taste not bad.
You can appreciate this taste.
These are fine. I mean, if you're looking for a spicy snack, these would probably satisfy you. I mean, they're really not that hot. I mean, maybe after you ate the whole bag, your mouth would be a little spicy, but
it's like it's not so.
Yeah.
It's a weird size. I think weird shape too.
Yeah, these are okay. To be fair, these probably won't be around when you get to Japan. That said, Japan is very much opening up like next month. I think it's being a lot more open. So coming to Japan, you could probably come and visit soon.
Maybe we should arrange a tour group so everybody from all over the world can come to Japan at the same time.
Do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. The Naked and Famous Denim Japan tour group.
Can't do it. We don't know how to do it.
We'll figure it out. Ranking out of spicy level, I would say that if you had small children, this would probably be fine.
I think the kids would find this spicy. You know,
it wouldn't wreck them, as I like to say. This would not wreck a kid. Yeah, maybe they would be like, "Wow, I ate this hot thing," but like, this is nothing. This is easy. Augustus Owl writes, "Hope I'll finally be able to go to Tokyo in April 2023 to watch Not Fest." Not Fest. What is that? Is that a Slipknot concert festival in Japan? Good old. I would go to that.
In Japan, that would be fun.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. Out of a 10 score on the taste scale, like a 6.8. That's even high, but I'm gonna go with it. I said 6.8. I'm gonna stick with it.
Like how much you like it?
Yeah.
The taste?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, I like it. I like this kind of snacks. I would go, like 7 maybe.
All right.
7-0. No, it's a newbie score.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a newbie score. Rookie score. BD, these bad boys would not wreck a kid. They would not. They would make a kid feel tough and brave that they were able to handle
that
5 out of 5 spice. Imagine if somebody thought that was like top level spice. And then they get to like a real spicy tip, they would get blown out of the water.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. Anyways, we're going to leave it there. Extra long live stream today.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much for everybody who stuck around and watched the entire thing. And everybody, it doesn't matter whether you joined at the start or even right now at the end. Thank you so much for joining our weekly live stream here on the internet, on youtube.com. Don't forget, before you leave, you got to do one thing for me, and that's hit that like button.
Yes,
and
please
leave any kind of comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you're wearing today. Let us know what you want to do when you come to Japan. Let us know what your favorite pair of Naked Famous Denim jeans are. Let's get that engagement up. Helps us, beat the algorithm and get, pushed to more denim lovers around the world. We will see you guys next week.
Right.
Same bat time, same bat channel right here, 7 p.m. Eastern on our channel. We'll see you guys soon. Subscribe to our newsletters. Follow us on Instagram. Our links are all down there in the description. The longest outro I've ever done.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend.